to the Valley Center Playhouse.
Ever. It's a rather cute little story about the true spirit of Christmas. I have an announcement for you. As you know, this production will be done at the Valley Center Theater because it's closing its doors, and my parents, my father, since he's 92, has decided it's time to retire. So, I have one other announcement to make. These chairs you're sitting in, if you know anyone who's interested in buying these theater chairs for family rooms for your own personal theater, they're listed on KSL. Now at this point, my father would generally tell a joke. Unfortunately, I don't have the delivery he does, so I'll just ask you all a question. Does anyone know how you keep an audience in suspense? Well, I'll just tell you later. And in the famous words of my father, welcome to the Valley Center Theater.
And that's not all. They never force the paint, so it goes in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word. And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in a school drinking fountain. And this barn swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late. She gets sick. Not right away.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogen, Leroy, Claudia, Ollie, and Gladys. They went around the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So it was really hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmen there. But Jesus loves us as they say, because he keeps them miles away. That's my little brother Charlie, and that's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked what his favorite thing about church was. He said, "No herdmans." And that made the teacher mad, because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth, no herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else says. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff was okay. The main good part about church is that there's
Well, that's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Hartman in school.
Leroy, is he the worst one?
They're all the worst ones. Well, Ralph's the biggest, so he gets you. That doesn't make a difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's neat, and she bites.
Well, sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from me. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
Don't give me any arguments about the Christmas pageant this year.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Well, Charlie, everyone's in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the Christmas pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Oh, well, you know, actually I wasn't planning on going. Well, you know, I could stay at home and relax, and you know how crowded it is. Besides, nothing new ever happens at the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something new this year.
Oh, really?
Charlie is going to wear your bathrobe.
Oh, nice one, Grace.
Well, why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hawkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. He is sick of being Joseph just because his father's a minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph. Nobody wants to be it.
Well, what are you going to be this year, Beth?
Well, I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, Charlie, you could be in the angel choir.
Not exactly. First off, I'm a boy. Second off, I can't sing.
Well, from what I've heard in the past, being able to sing is not a big deal. Away in the manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
You want in the angel choir in bed sheets? Some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Let's go watch TV.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
Well, they're right, of course. She directs the pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. Why, I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon, if anyone would let her.
Helen Armstrong, is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes?
Well, maybe she can try running the hospital, because that's where she is. I bumped into George this morning. He said she broke her leg. She's like in traction for 2 weeks. She's laid up till the end of the year.
The end of the year? What? They'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the pageant. She's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Yes, Edna, I'll take over the bazaar if you'll do the potluck supper. But I don't know what in the world we'll do about the Christmas pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
Oh, I just can't, Jane. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace? Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I'm going to have to go?
Our Christmas pageant is not what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old Mary and Joseph and the same old Christmas carols. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary very carefully because, after all, Mary was the mother of Jesus.
Yes, I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong had traction. How could she talk if she's in traction? What do you think traction is?
All about Mary and
Like when they put you to sleep at night.
No such luck. could you go get some salt and pepper? And napkins.
And I always say, there are no small parts, only small actors. Remind the angel choir.
Hey, slow down. Leave some for the rest of us.
I'm hungry. Leroy Herman stole my lunch today. Again.
Why do you let him do that day after day? That one's yours.
You don't have too many baby angels.
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Hey, Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven. I'll get that.
And you'll need to get someone to push the baby angels on stage. Otherwise, they get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob can do that. Oh, and he can keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, another word about the angel choir, Grace. Whatever you do, don't let them wear lipstick. They think that just because this is a play, that they have to wear lipstick and it looks terrible.
Where can a man get a square meal around here? I'm starving.
It's just you, for heaven's sakes.
Well, I was getting lonely sitting at the table.
Well, I guess Helen's lonely in the hospital.
Not as long as the phones are working.
I bet she told you about the no small parts, only small actors, and getting someone to push the baby angels on stage and getting the shepherds to shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I'm gonna have to go?
Oh, and Grace, don't get just anybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two if you can. That way, if one turns out to be fussy, you could always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said she had nothing to do but sit in the hospital and think of problems. Of course, there weren't going to be any problems. Then again, Mother didn't count on the Herdmans, because that was Charlie's fault. Hey, Leroy, give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so good to steal my dessert every day? Well, guess what? I don't care. I'll even give you my dessert. I know the dessert I want at Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Jolly Ranchers, Twinkies, Big Wheels, Sundays. We get desserts all the time and all we want.
You're a liar.
Oh, and ice cream and cookies and
Who gives it to you?
the minister.
Why? Is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh? Hey, Ralph, listen to this!
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were, in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's like a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus
Everything here is.
and about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
Well, I am probably I am part.
Come on, Charlie, Beth, David, help bring on the benches. We're gonna need a couple of stools and everyone can bring those on. Let's quickly get everything brought on.
I'll give you $2. No.
All right, everyone. Now this won't take long if you can all just settle down, Now, today we are going to decide who will play our main roles for our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what she always says?
That's what she says every year, but she never tells us what it means.
Well, Elmer, don't you know what it means?
I know. It's that the short kids have angel choir, or else no one can see.
Well, not exactly. What it really means is that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think the short kids has been the front row. It's
Well,
just that the short kids have been the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. All right, now do we have everyone here? Beverly, can I have you quickly check out in the hallway just to see if there's anyone else coming? Now, you little kids are going to be our angels. So please remind your mothers that you will need bed sheets.
Mrs. Bradley, does the angel choir wear bed sheets too?
Yes, we do. And if any of you have old bathrobes at home, if you could ask them up. Well, my. Let's make some room for the Herdmans, everyone. What happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Oh, did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I said was, hi, Beverly.
Oh.
And she just left.
Oh, I see. Well, can someone please let Beverly know about our rehearsals? They will be the next 4 Wednesdays after school. Plan to be here for everyone.
Well, what if we get sick?
Oh, you won't get sick. Now, Mary and Joseph absolutely must come to every single rehearsal.
Well, what if they get sick?
They don't get sick either.
Well, Beverly got sick and we haven't even started yet.
We don't know Beverly really got sick. Oh no, Beverly. Oh, that's not a good spot. No. Oh, let's put you right there. All right. Now, I want you all to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person she was. She was kind and gentle and quiet. And the girl who plays Mary must try to be that kind of person. Now, do we have any volunteers for this part? Imogen, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right!
Oh, you know, I'm going to make a list of volunteers, and then we can all decide who it should be. Let's see, we've got Ralph Herdman here as Joseph. I'll write that down. Who else would like to volunteer to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
Usually I would, but I'll let Ralph do it.
Go ahead. Any shepherds? Very well. We have Ralph Herdman as Joseph. Now, Imogen here has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I add on my list? Maxine? Beth? Doris, how about you? Alice? Do you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, our wise men are usually boys. I mean, they can...
I'll be a wise man.
Me too. Claudia, want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
Gladys, you can be some angel.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. Oh, we have some volunteers after all. David, did you want to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say I can be a shepherd. We'll go in Philadelphia.
Oh, really? Why didn't you say so before?
I don't know. I just want to say, isn't he like going to Philadelphia or something? Yeah, he's going to Philadelphia.
Right.
And my mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Really? Why not?
I don't know, she just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd on a cold, dead life.
Oh, yes you are. And what's the matter with all of you?
Well, I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and another word about it, and no shepherds may quit or get sick. Now that's all for today, boys and girls. You may go, but I expect to see everyone back here on Wednesday at 6:30.
Where are the treats?
Alice, what in the world is wrong with you? Why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know. Alice, I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be here?
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogen would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this Christmas pageant. You open your mouth and raise your hand. You'll wish you didn't. Then I told her, I'm always married in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll show a pussy willow so far down in the air that nobody will be able to reach it. And it'll grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with the pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
Oh, come on. You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. The Hermans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and run the whole Christmas pageant all your mother's fault. Come on, Maxine.
James and McCarthy, did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would all 6 of them end up in the pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma, Slow, come here. I just heard that Imogen Herman is going to be married in the pageant. What? All 6 of them? Oh, I live next door to those kids, and I'd rather live next door to the zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogen Herman, well, what kind of a child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus? And where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in and he wasn't visiting me. What's the matter? What she just sent them away? Oh, I feel so responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, Grace. I'm on your side.
You know, Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances. But now, I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands, and no one else did. And I don't care
Well,
what
good
anyone...
for you, Grace. Now, I just parked the car out here.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean...
Yes, you have to go. Now, the inn will be back here off stage, and the shepherds will come in and they'll gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway? What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph was there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everyone just shut up. I want to hear her begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
Well, the beginning of the play. What happens first?
Well, Imogen, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
No.
Well, that's what this pageant is. I guess I better read it to you.
I don't believe it. Do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story before?
Well, they don't even know what a Bible is. And they have never been to church their whole entire life until your young brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
pregnant? She was pregnant?
All right, no, that's enough, that's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say that Mary pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should call Mary pregnant. It's better to say great child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
Swapping clothes. Because there was no room for them in the inn.
My gosh, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, no one knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Well, didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph? I'm not telling them. Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
Well, we put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, but you found something else to use.
Oh no, we had a bet. Only Ollie was still in and she wouldn't get out because she didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
Well, that was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Well, anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It says in there she wrapped them in wadded up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. Well, people used to wrap up babies really tightly in big pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied them up and put them in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare that ours every 5 minutes.
There was no child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
Now, there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel...
Shazam!
What?
Black Knight with marble vision, the mighty marvel.
Gladys, what are you talking about?
The mighty marvel in Amazing Comics. The Black Knight with marble vision.
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord who brings the goodness to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? Out of the Black Knight, right?
Well, yes, I guess in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things like spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
Well, they were kings. And they
Finally,
were...
somebody important shows up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of that barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
Well, they were actually sent by Herod, and he was the main king. He wanted to find Jesus to have him put to death.
My gosh, he just got born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
You mean he's out to kill the baby? And he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod.
Oh, no, Herod! And he says, go give me that baby, and they say, okay, because he's the king and all. But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Harry. No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod.
I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna get killed.
Forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
And I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody gotta fix that innkeeper. Gladys, you go wipe him out.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around out in some old barn. I'd go get a room. She said there wasn't any room. Then I'd throw somebody. I'd say, I got this baby here. It's the middle of winter. Either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger and turn him into a pile of ashes.
Yeah, Zach. What's the name baby Jesus. But the baby quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she would not let Imogene Herman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby, and that bothered my mother, and she kept trying to scratch one up, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 3 times now, all purple. And they still do. If you shake the birthday bank, it won't make a sound because they stole every last penny out of it. And if you walk in the ladies' room, Imogene Herdman is seen there in the Mary's costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down. What for?
From my mother, Reverend Hopkins, Lady Babyside, everyone else who wants to know what happens when the Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
That's Alice. I need you guys back as we get started. Now, this is going to be our last rehearsal, so I need everyone to do their
Grace, I just wanted to let you know that we're all in the back making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. So, I guess this is your dress rehearsal?
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a few weeks ago?
Oh,
a little
yes,
girl?
she's beautiful, just 5 weeks old.
Well, I was wondering, how would it be if I were to call your niece and ask her if we could borrow her baby?
Grace, no! I could make up some lie and tell you that she was sick or cranky or something. But the truth is, she's perfectly happy and healthy and beautiful. And we all want her to stay that way. I'm certainly not going to turn her over to the likes of Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bailey, you can just smile and talk about Jesus.
I didn't know you had a little brother.
He's not new, he's 4 years old, but he's double trimming my
I'll get us a baby. Imogen, how are you going to do that?
Well, Sally's touring me in strollers outside the supermarket. I'll just go up on the back.
Imogen, you can't just walk off with someone's baby. Oh, we'll forget about a baby. We'll have to use the doll.
Better anyway, a doll can't fight you.
And Imogen, Mary did not wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I just got my ears pierced, and if I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
I don't think they're going to grow together in just an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
Probably do. I bet Imogene's ears, her black fall off.
We'll just have to find you something smaller to wear. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you guys are going to wear? You're all supposed to be in your costumes today.
I can't find my halo. My wings got all bent. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Remember she with balloons on it? No. Can we wear lipstick?
No, no
Bright
lipstick. No.
red lipstick?
No.
Please?
No lipsticks, girls. No lipstick.
Mrs. Bailey, I don't have that costume. I know we'll finish up with before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do.
I don't have a bathrobe.
What's this hanging around the house and what's in
Just underwear.
All right, now just pretend like you're all wearing your costumes.
Wait, we going to